Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli Podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren. And we're Cimorelli.
Welcome back to
The Cimorelli Podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like my brain left my body. I don't know what to say. Bing, bang, jiggity, jock, jock, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know.
Whoa.
What are we? Oh, okay. Today we're doing a Q&A. What? About married, dating, single. That's what the Q&A is about. Some of us are married, some of us are dating, and some of us are single. Some of us are all three. Who is it? Stay tuned. Find out.
Wow. I would like to know.
Interesting.
That would be.
Hey, it's stranger things have happened.
I was trying to think of how that would be possible. My brain shut off.
It would just have to be cheating.
You'd have to have
basically.
different profiles.
You're dating
Yeah.
and you're single.
Like you're
and-
single
But you're still
in your
married.
mind, but you're not really. Yeah.
Your
not.
alter ego? Okay.
That's
I
just a
don't know.
lot. But I feel like I could.
Okay.
So on that note, let's dive into it. I was trying to think of a weatherman name. I was gonna say,
Stormy.
who's Stormy Warren?
I don't
Who's that?
know, but I
Is this
know
like
that name.
I think it's like a Disney Channel show. I'm Stormy Warren with the weather. Warren.
the Wombat Report.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
All right,
What a
guys,
Warren.
let's jump into the episode. So we've done this once or twice before with the Q&A single. Actually, we did like single, dating, engaged, and married at one point.
Married.
That was great. We had all four. But you guys loved it every time we've done this. So we're like, we got to do it on the podcast.
And we've never done it together.
Go
So
in
you
depth.
guys are giving us some questions for that. So that's coming up in a few segments as the
I'm
main
excited
segment.
for it.
And guys, I just want to remind you, if you want to watch all the full episodes, you got to join us on Patreon, which is in the description. If you want to support us, if you love Cimorelli, there's amazing content there. There's so many more episodes there. There's so much good content. We put a lot into our Patreon, so give it a try. Try it out for a month, see what you think. It's in the description. And do I have anything else to say before? No, I don't think so. Let's go to highs
Good
and-
morning to you. That's the
Highs
last
and
thing you wanted to
lows.
say. Tip of the hat.
and
Top of the
lows.
morning.
Okay, my high was that I made this amazing meal that I make every summer.
Oh, yes, I like that one.
A summer skillet gnocchi.
Whoa.
It's gnocchi with fresh corn on the cob grilled with some butter, red onions that are also grilled, arugula, cherry tomatoes that are blistered in olive oil. Love it. And then, what else is in it?
Burrata.
Burrata cheese and chicken.
Is this
She
all
made
in a
that
bowl?
for us.
It's a skillet. It's just all together. I made it.
She made it for us on our last night at our writing
at our
retreat.
writing retreat. Do you remember?
Wait.
It was so
vaguely.
good.
And then I made peach cobbler for dessert. I made this all because my in-laws are in town / like Father's Day
You're trying
celebration.
to impress.
Yeah.
No, I already
I
impressed
hope
them.
they accept me that I can marry their son.
No,
Now that we already have twins.
no. I
joke.
made one impressive meal. My other meals were like
showing them your
tacos,
appreciation.
chicken barbecue sandwiches.
She's
like,
definitely showing her appreciation.
yes. I was trying to show my appreciation for them organizing my whole
Because
house
they deserve it.
and cleaning my children's stuff. So yeah. Anyway, made a nice meal. I would say my downside is that my husband's been feeling kind of weird lately, so he's going to be like seeing a cardiologist and stuff. So it's kind of scary.
No, but that's good that he's checking.
It's good that he's checking, but it's definitely kind of
My
scary until
downside.
you know.
You're low.
Yeah, my
Your
low.
downside.
My low.
Yeah.
Low. Trying to be fast. Now I feel self-conscious. I'm like, is the first part of our podcast too long?
Guys, it's okay.
Scared.
Don't rush yourself.
Don't rush. Be beautiful.
Who's next?
Oh.
What?
Okay. So I would like to say my high was when we went and saw Top Gun because that was really fun. Even though you said that last episode, it's recent.
Okay.
It was. I was just like, I felt pressured. Anyway, to think of something.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, it was
sure you
great.
wanted
It
to
was
see
fun. No, yeah, we had fun. My low was
Was what?
the night before when we were watching sports.
Why is that low?
Why were you
I'm a
watching?
menace to society because people yell at the game like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, excuse me. Like, you could do any better. Stop yelling at them. They can't hear you.
Who did you say
Like,
this
if
to?
you're
So
my friend,
unsuspected.
I'm like, because it makes me so mad.
I thought,
like,
I thought you were
wait,
gonna say-
insulting them?
Wait, this is your low.
Because then Lauren gave me a lecture.
So Amy doesn't get sports talk, basically.
Lauren gave me a lecture because if I'm going to be there, then I
Trash
can't
talk.
be annoying.
Because she bullies everyone in the room
For
who's like a
bullying
sports
them.
fanatic for bullying the players
But
who
again,
can't hear them.
Why are you watching sports? I'm so confused.
I don't know. We were trying something new.
Sports.
It was
The
basketball.
WNBA.
I thought Amy was going to say.
I've never heard of any
I
of
thought you were
watching
going to say it
women's
was so
basketball.
boring to
We
you that
haven't.
you kept talking over it and then people were getting annoyed.
No, no one
here's my
even
next
was
question.
watching.
Who
Oh.
was yelling
Then how
at a
was it
WNBA game?
That one.
It was not me. So confused. All
I
right.
just, Ariel and I have real fights.
I told her she
so she said I can't fight anymore if I'm going to
Where's
be with
the
them.
ref? Sometimes you gotta get on a little healthier.
You're
I
getting
know.
ejected from the living
I
room.
get it. I feel the same way, but if you're going to be in the situation, you have to keep it to yourself. That's so funny. I keep it to myself, and you have to.
Okay.
Amy's raining. Or Lauren is raining Amy.
Because I'm a menace. I'm
Oh
a
my
menace.
gosh.
That's how I know I can't date like a real sports guy.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, shut up.
Yeah, I think this is a good thing to know
I'm
about.
like, if you want to watch sports, go somewhere else. Wait, I will do
I think
something
it's
else.
hilarious when Chad freaks out. He goes right up to the TV and standing on the fireplace. Shoot it! Shoot it! I have a great video. Shoot the ball! He's like shaking, and then they like lose it. He's like,
I would be
it's
such a bully.
because he gets involved with players, not teams. So it feels
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
friendship where he's like, oh, they love.
You know what? That's me when I watch a regular TV show.
Yeah, you
I
get
do
it.
hate.
Okay,
from
Max and I
outside the
found a
club.
great happy medium. He watches the sports game that I care nothing about, and I get my laptop and put headphones in to watch a movie that I like.
Oh.
That's what we do.
Okay, well, I will say my
That's
high
fine.
and low.
Instead of me
then.
sitting there, my brain melting out of my ears.
Lol. Okay. First, a high. My high was I went to, once in a while, we like to take a drive to
Funky
breakfast outside of our normal area.
Oh
so
my
we drove like
God.
30 minutes away and we went to this awesome breakfast place. So good. Just my little family and I, and it was really fun. And we had a great morning recently.
Sounds like a
that was
little
awesome.
old me.
Yeah, just
My little old family.
It was great. And then my low, it's not like really a low, but I'm just going to say a low on my daughter's behalf is this is a developmental thing apparently. It's good apparently, that she's developing separation anxiety in like a weird way.
Twins do this too.
So sometimes when I leave, I don't know this, but my mother-in-law or someone will tell me that's babysitting her, like, oh, she cried when you left. She's like, no. Or just now out in the hall, my little brother's friends were like, hi. And she's like, hi. And then they're like, okay, bye, we're leaving. And she's like, oh.
She was so sad.
So sad.
She was like really sad.
Oh my gosh, I can't
She's
believe it.
sensitive
My
soul.
heart breaks for her. And to know that I'm
was
one of the
so
people
sad.
causing it sometimes.
Okay, tell me if you've ever experienced
makes
this
me
with the
die.
twins. When I come home from the grocery store, they're like, "Mom!" They get so excited and they crawl towards the door, and then I have to go back out and get groceries, and they go, "Ah!" and I have to do it like 3 times, and I feel so bad.
I want to die. I hate it so
No,
much.
because
sad.
I always bring her with me. I never go without her.
I can't get all the groceries with them.
Yeah, you
it's
have
like
to
do that.
too-
There's 2 of them.
But
Just
even
put her
if
in
just
the
one,
cart.
there's too many groceries.
What? No, you just put them in the cart.
No, to bring them in.
No, bring them in from the store because I go by myself to the store.
Oh, I just put her on the floor and then I go in and out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They're on the floor and they're mad.
I have
It's
to
left.
carry Barrett the whole time, or else he's gonna try to run down the stairs
he doesn't
or do
fit in the
something
cart, does he?
dangerous. No, like when bringing the groceries.
Oh,
Oh, because he's gonna start running down
and
the
the groceries,
street.
or he's gonna
Yeah.
do something
It's so
dangerous.
sad when they cry.
what a
It's
wild man.
really annoying.
Babies. Anyhow,
So that's my low. Poor girl.
Probably should have kept him like keeping
On a leash.
in the car seat with
Yeah.
something to like oh here's a new
Sometimes
snack.
I do that.
Here's a brand new snack that I saved for this moment.
Leave her in with the
I'll
air
have to
on.
think of these
run
hacks
in
when
and
I
out.
have more kids, which is not going to be that long.
I don't take them to the store with me. They're home with Max.
Oh,
I don't know
Barrett
how
loves
I
the
would do
store at
that.
this age. He loves it.
So cute.
They're almost sitting up. I think I could put them in the cart. My cart is so freaking full every week. I don't think I
I don't
could
know
fit
how
them.
you would get 2 in a cart unless you had 2 carts.
Well, I think you could put one in the actual cart and then one in the little part where kids
Oh, like
sit.
in a car seat?
No,
would
no,
you-
just like sitting, like when they're big enough to sit.
Or even in like a
But then wouldn't the food be like,
Yeah,
oh,
wouldn't they be
car seat would
messing
take
with
up the
everything?
whole
Yeah,
cart.
it will take up too much. Okay, let's
I
go.
don't- yeah,
Alright.
anyway.
you need just
Okay, who's next?
Guys,
Who's
comment
next?
if you know how to go to the store with twins.
Oh, you went to breakfast.
A high was we had a great breakfast and just a great morning.
hello with separation.
I forgot mine.
I get
I thought
that.
you already said. Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
that was Amy.
I thought of it and I forgot. Okay. I'll just say something. One of my highs, I guess, a good time that I had was I spent a really long time working on a new song, and then I went and drove around, listened to it on repeat, and I was like,
I love
oh,
that.
so good.
I forgot about
Ooh,
that. Driving
love it.
around, listening to it. Oh,
Yeah, it's
good
so
memory.
fun. I'm just like,
Forgot
oh,
about
so
that.
good.
I always walk around and listen to. That's what I do.
Yeah, I like
go on
to
a
hear
long
it in
walk.
the stereo.
Yeah.
I like walk and listen to things.
So that was fun. And then my low is today because I'm so tired. And I
It's
just
been
want to
a
go to
long-
sleep.
Long week.
Sleep while you can.
So that's
Single, dating,
I wanna
married, and
sleep.
tired. That's the question of the day.
I want to sleep so bad.
Although I guess we're probably all tired in different ways here
yeah.
for different
all right,
reasons.
that's it.
I could say that's my low easily. Because the other day I just kept saying, I just want to sleep.
That's
Yeah,
really
I
So
sad.
when will I? When?
Yeah, I broke
This
down
is what
crying to
always
Max.
gives
Like,
me
I
help.
can't.
I'm like, eventually I have to. I can't stay awake
eventually
forever.
you just will. Like,
I'm like, what's going to
But will
when am I
they?
going to sleep?
That's the question. I say, will they sleep? Maybe.
I am not above giving Motrin for teething.
But that doesn't always work. I've done
me
that a
it
million
does,
times,
but,
and then they don't
ooh.
always fall asleep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They're just stubborn little guys. Anyway,
One day.
One day, your children will be like
I dream about
a
sleeping.
little older and you'll be able to sleep.
I dream about going
then
on a
you must be
vacation when I'm like,
sleeping.
one day I'll be old and my kids will be like old and I will sleep. Then I'm like, then I'll be sad because I'll miss them. So it's like,
Yeah.
you win some, you
Grass
lose
is
some.
always
You know,
greener.
So
Yeah.
my current thing is, let's
What if you did a
see.
staycation where you took one day and you went to an Airbnb and then you just slept?
Oh, it's a very
Then
good
I would feel
idea.
bad.
No, it's
No,
not
no,
bad.
no.
You
Don't
deserve
feel
it. You
bad.
need it.
No.
But
you
who would
got it.
watch them?
You just have
No
someone
one.
come and watch them. Either you have Max do the whole day,
Catherine,
or you hire a
whoever watches
babysitter.
them.
You do it while your in-laws are in town. Who knows?
Yes.
You just plan it.
Kat, it
Yes.
can be like from 9 till 5.
I think I will
Yeah.
definitely end up doing
and
that at
then
some
you
point.
just go to somewhere just away and you just
sleep.
lay down and you
It's just a
relax.
fantasy.
Okay, let's keep
That
going.
is fantasy.
So that's my low
make
is that I didn't sleep very much. I'm in the end of pregnancy, so it's like it's a time when you don't sleep as much, and then the baby comes, and then you really don't get to sleep. But I don't know. I might be being dumb this time in my mind, but I don't think I am. I'm kind of feeling like it might be better in some ways when she's here because
Hey.
I won't have the pregnancy. pain.
Absolutely, it could. Absolutely.
And I
it
have
could.
some different plans this time for sleep I didn't have last time in the beginning.
You're chock full
I have
of
about
weapons.
10 million new plans that
Chock
I
full of
have.
info.
And I just think, I don't know. I hope I'm not being dumb, but I think it's going to be 1,000 trillion times
Yeah,
better.
and you're not going to have the
think you
shock
are.
and terror.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not
I think it's
at
gonna be way
all.
better.
There's no way it's going to be as
So
hard.
we'll see.
No way.
Okay, so here's my high. I have a really fun new morning routine with Barrett that he kind of created. So I keep making smoothies. I make smoothies with decaf coffee that Barrett loves. We make a coffee smoothie in the morning that we
my
both
God.
love.
So good. What do you put in it?
I know this is weird, but it's not weird. Trust me. It's like banana
yogurt.
ice
Oh, yes.
and then milk, vanilla, coffee.
That sounds good.
The banana might
Sounds
sound
good to
weird, but
me.
it's
Honestly, I would have peanut
it a frozen-
butter.
oh,
with that.
and some chocolate. We did a little chocolate syrup.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
So really, really good. That's what I made the last couple of days.
What does Baron say for
so
smoothie?
Here's why it's fun. Oh, I can't remember. He always says, I can't remember how he says it. But he always says like, blender, bender. And then he's like, I have to hold him when I do the blender. He's like, so then he like puts his head in me for me to start it. I go 1, 2, 3. And then as soon as I start it, he goes, and then he puts his hand on it. And then he looks at me like, can you believe I'm holding this? So then he holds it down. And then as soon as I finish that, he's like, straw. He has to have a straw. So we both have cups with straws and then our smoothies. And then he goes,
So cute.
die, which means outside. And he begs and begs to go outside. So then we go outside and we sit on the front porch and we watch for trucks.
So funny.
And we drink our smoothies
Hey,
and
this
he
sounds
goes,
like a fun morning.
and he
I
goes,
gotta say.
cheers, the whole time.
Oh, he cheers to my forks and I melted my fork and I melted. It was so
Okay,
cute.
in this moment now, I want to order an ice cream maker so I can make my own with less sugar and then put coffee in it. Coffee
that
ice
sounds
cream.
great.
Yeah, coffee ice cream is really good.
Oh, it's the best. It might be my favorite, actually.
You can make
I
it in a
realized.
blender too.
But I didn't know you liked the taste of coffee.
I love coffee.
I did not know that.
but you
love
can
it.
never drink it.
I can't drink it.
Yeah.
I never
Because the
ever drink
caffeine is
it.
just so
But
sensitive.
I eat coffee ice cream.
Actually, I think I do remember you eating coffee ice cream.
They just put, what do they do
Almond
for coffee
fudge.
ice cream? They do
Yeah.
decaf.
it's just
I
like a
would say?
little bit.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think it's just so
It's such a- yeah.
diluted.
Yeah, it's so, I think, very, 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 very diluted.
I'm gonna
They have
look it up.
Probably just some
Affogatos.
chemical that
I always get
made
scared to
taste
have
like
it.
coffee.
I love it.
Barrett and I get coffee, ice cream, Greek yogurt bars.
Yes.
And he loves those.
Yes.
With the chocolate chip.
Wait, is that the like Yasso? Oh, yes.
He loves those.
And they're lower in sugar, so I can eat them once in a while.
Oh, I didn't know
They're
that.
so
Love
good.
it.
They're not like low sugar,
I
but
just
they're
got
lower.
I got tons of those when I was in the
Do
first
you
trimester.
get the balls, the vanilla?
No, I've
Yasso
never
balls?
seen them.
If you're trying not to eat sugar, like I was about to order a whole milkshake, which was going to decimate my body, and then I was like, okay, let me have one of my ice cream balls, and I ate it, and I was like, oh,
I've never
I feel
seen
fine
those,
now.
but I want that.
Yeah, it's really good. It tastes
was-
like a Haagen-Dazs bar.
It was a big go-to in my first trimester because it has a little bit of protein in it, and I was trying to eat anything that could possibly have
It's
protein.
like a donut hole made
And that
out
was
of
one of
ice
the few
cream.
things I could eat. So
Wait,
Barrett
that
would always
sounds like
eat
a
them.
really good.
That sounds really good. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes life can really shake you up, shock you. For instance, giving birth to Barrett really
Rattled
changed
you.
my life. And I actually did go to therapy. I actually saw 3 different people till I found the right one afterwards. And it was so helpful. All of us have personal experience with therapy. If you guys want to share.
Yes, I've been in therapy for over 10 years for anxiety and OCD, and that's been wonderful.
I talk to someone on and off whenever I just feel like I'm drowning in life, and it's like a nice life raft to pull me out.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned so many coping skills that I never would have learned in any other way besides like actually talking to a professional about it that really like changed my life.
I've been in therapy as well for the last few years, and it's been incredibly transformative for me.
So BetterHelp is online therapy where they'll assess your needs, like exactly what you're looking for, and then match you with a therapist. And you don't have to stay with the first one you're matched with. Because like I said, I saw 3 different people. I saw the first person I saw with Barrett. This wasn't through BetterHelp. This was before I knew about them. But first person wasn't quite right. Second wasn't. And the third one was what really helped me. And I've mentioned this multiple times in the podcast before. That's really important. But they have a big questionnaire that helps you get matched with the right person. And
It's super in
talk about
depth
the
too, which is awesome. Yeah, we went through the questionnaire and it really goes in depth on your mental health needs, what you're looking for in a therapist,
Your
and even
background.
your background, if you have a religious preference, it seems like it really gets to know you to make it a lot more likely you're going to find the right fit of a
you
therapist.
can get matched in less than 48 hours.
Wow,
That's
that's
pretty
that.
amazing. Because sometimes you really need to see someone right
and
away.
you try to reach
Yeah.
someone, they're like, oh, I could see you in a month. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going to be dealing
Yeah,
with in a month.
most of my experiences, it took like several weeks to even get on
Yeah.
someone's schedule or even get a
Yeah.
call back.
And it's also like if you're scared of trying to find someone on your own, which I hate doing, and you don't have a Catherine to do it for you.
How would you find
This
them?
is really helpful because that questionnaire is so detailed. It will really help find your needs.
Also,
true.
it didn't take that long too. I did it in like 5 minutes or less. Like even though it's really
Yeah.
detailed, it's not going to take you like 100 years to fill out.
BetterHelp is more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. Another cool thing is you can log into your account and message your therapist
Oh, that's really cool.
anytime, which is cool.
Oh, and they have journal entries you can do and fill them out for your therapist to read, and you can share them with
In
them.
That's
is
really
the
cool.
app, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and in the questionnaire they ask if you would want to do just messaging only, or you want to do video. You don't have to do a video or a call if
that
that's
can be
too much.
intimidating.
Ooh, I like
That's
that.
cool. They give a lot of options. It's really cool that therapy is really evolving in 2022. But we do have a special offer for you guys. You can get 10% off your first month if you go to betterhelp.com/Cimarelli, which will be linked in the description. It's 10% off first month of online therapy. betterhelp.com/CIMORELLI. 10% off your first month. If you've been on the fence and you're just I feel like you can have excuses of why you're I don't know if I could find the person. I don't know if I have time. I want to go somewhere, this I think is a way to get around a lot of that and then just try it out and see. I think literally everyone can benefit from therapy. So if you're having anything going on in your life that you could use some help with, which you probably are, I would suggest giving this a try. Okay, so let's go. 5 perspectives. Before we get into questions,
hear it,
the last thing
ladies.
we're going to do.
What is it?
How often do you wash your car?
Oh, man. Okay, listen.
Oh,
It's
is
embarrassing.
that a question for me? It probably is.
Here's
embarrassing.
where my life has changed. before I married my husband, I had my own spot in our large garage. So I would keep it clean on the outside. I would wash it like, I don't know, once a month. I don't know. But because I could park it, so it kind of stayed a lot cleaner. Now that it's outside, I never wash it because it feels like, what's the point? Like it literally gets dirty in like 2 days. Or if it rains that day, boom, it's dirty. It just rains all the time. So I don't wash it hardly ever. I want to say like 4 times a year. I like never wash my car. Yeah, I hate it.
Okay, I actually do mine more now because Nick makes me, not literally makes me. He goes, "Hey, do you want to take Barrett and let's go wash the cars, whatever?" So we do a family car wash like once a month, and we wash it completely out.
But
and
you
Barrett,
like go somewhere or do you wash it
yeah,
yourself?
we go somewhere and we do it. And Barrett loves
You do the
washing
vacuum?
cars.
That's so cute. Family
bet he
car
loves
wash.
Barrett
Remember when we were
loves
kids
it.
going through the car wash and being like, "Whoa, this is cool."
So yeah, we do like probably once a month
That's so fun.
because Nick is really into washing the car because his car is trash from construction, so he really needs to wash it. And then Barrett likes it, so it's like, oh, spend some time together.
So cute.
I feel like I wash mine like every 2 or 3
Years?
months. 2 or 3
No,
months.
she washes.
I am very, very, very good
I feel
at
like yours
washing
wouldn't
cars.
show dirt as much.
I
It doesn't because it's
love-
like dark gray.
Guys, do you like washing your car? I love
I
washing
get it
mine.
washed by
I
someone
just
else.
like doing the inside.
I always hit our trash cans, so I have like
outside.
little fake scratches that can get washed off. But I also have a lot of real ones too.
Well, I have a monthly membership to a car wash. So
Wow.
I try to wash it at least once a month, but it depends.
Yours looks
on
pretty
how
clean,
my
but I can't tell.
mental
How your
health
life is, your mental life is going.
But I try to keep it clean.
I feel like I have gotten mine. Actually, got mine detailed before I had the babies because I wanted to get nice and deep clean before we put the car seats in. So that was good. But then that was like in August, and then I didn't get it washed or wash it. I washed it myself again.
I
7
love
months
washing
later.
my car.
So it was like they were like 7 months old before I washed again. Before I had the babies, I would wash my car probably every 2 months would be the average.
See, this is why the nicer drive-through ones rock. It's like $20.
yeah, honestly,
Go.
but it's like
Somehow it takes
I
10
enjoy
minutes.
I have
washing
so
it,
much fun washing
and
my car.
and we have all the stuff for it, and I'm like, I feel like I should do this myself, even though I could just pay for it. I'm like, I feel like this is something I enjoy. So, yeah.
I feel that.
Okay,
I love
anyway,
washing
should we
my
move
car.
Let's get into
on?
the questions. This is really juicy.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna do single, dating, married Q&A, as we said, and we're getting questions from.
Patreon and Instagram.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you guys know the concept of this. We're all giving our takes on these questions from different life perspectives. So maybe everyone should say what they are in case we have a new viewer.
Married.
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 Oh, I don't have my ring because swelling.
Pregnant.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
purging her.
Pregnant,
Get her
pregnant,
a rubber
pregnant.
one.
I don't like that.
I love mine.
In a relationship.
Single.
Single.
I thought you
I
were
feel
gonna do
like
that.
dating sounds like, oh, I'm dating but I'm
around.
like in a relationship.
You're dating someone.
Okay.
Seriously.
First
Okay.
question. Starting kind of sad.
Oh.
Do you ever feel lonely? And how do you deal with this?
That's a good
Yes.
question
Yes.
because I think you might think if you're in a relationship, you don't feel lonely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can answer this because I recently felt lonely where I was like, I realized.
Oof.
I can't say it.
It's so good.
I felt lonely because I realized I was withholding my hurt feelings, as I mentioned on another episode. I wasn't like a little problem would happen that's not even a big deal, and I would just shut down. I was like, I noticed this response in myself of just like, don't say anything in all areas of my life, and I kept doing it. And then over time, I started to feel really isolated. And yeah, not just in my relationship, from everyone. It kind of, I feel like you're either like generally lonely or generally not, but whatever. Once I realized that and spoke up and started sharing my feelings, I felt extremely connected. So
Love
it was
it.
a me problem.
Okay, yeah, I would say loneliness is definitely a big theme. Not theme. Well, a big struggle of my life, like mental health, whatever. And I think it's related. Kind of hard to tell, but I think it's. I know it's often like I think it's like what Lisa said. I don't know if that's what you were saying actually.
What?
It's like what I'm doing it to myself. So like I shut out to myself, and then I don't plan to connect with other people, plan time, be intentional, like try to connect with them. I don't intentionally connect with Nick.
Yeah, isolation.
It's like I'm isolating myself, but I'm not aware of it. I might be around people a lot, but I'll be like, oh, I'm noticing like, oh, I feel so normally, but I'll be like, oh, I feel so lonely towards Nick. And then if I think about it, I'm like, wait, no, I mean towards everything. So I always realize it's towards everything. And then I have to take action, open up, blah, 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 to myself, other people, blah, blah, all that stuff. I think it's like I'm trying to think of other categories of things you could struggle with, but that's like a big one. Maybe probably connected with depression.
Yeah.
That like feeds into it. But I've been pretty good at not like falling deep into the hole in a long time. But I'll just notice it and be like, loneliness. And then I'm like, okay, you gotta do something.
The threat.
You gotta do something. You can't just sit here.
Yeah, I think I've always kind of had a feeling of loneliness that goes away at times and comes back. And I feel like it is related to hormonal things because I think right around when I'm going to start my cycle, I get this feeling for like several days that I just had a couple weeks ago. For me, like right when I'm about to get my cycle, I kind of get this feeling that like no one cares about me and I'm alone. And I just think it's like I have all these people I could text or call, but I don't really want to. And I'm like, no one cares. No one's reaching out. And I have all these unread messages. It's like, you're actually ignoring people, but you feel ignored. So it's all in my head. But yeah, I definitely feel that sometimes. And I think that's a misconception that people think being in a relationship makes you feel like not lonely ever. Because I think loneliness is honestly like a God-shaped hole.
That's what I was going to say.
I feel like it's like you need connection with your creator. And that is like the ultimate union because we desire this, getting deep, we desire this feeling of wanting to be understood and seen. And no person
In a way that we can't get from
person
anyone.
could truly see you because they're going to have their own biases and their own experience. But God fully sees you inside and out. All of your intentions, all of the misconceptions people have about you, he sees you. And I think that's what we're really longing for when we feel lonely.
There we go.
Well, me and my boyfriend are long distance, so yeah, I feel lonely.
It's so
It's sad.
That's hard. That's real hard.
What? How do I deal with that? I don't know. I just cry. Or I just,
You know what?
I just try to talk to him. I don't know, but I'm just like, well, kind of name of the game a little bit.
The job.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that loneliness is just a part of the human existence in every, like, in any form of the human existence. So it's like, even if you're not in a relationship, which, like, obviously I'm not because I'm single. But it's like, yeah, there's that loneliness for being in a relationship, which I definitely feel. But then there's also that loneliness of like being isolated or not opening up and stuff like that, which is something you can take action on too. But there's also that like general existential loneliness, like in my like opinion, like we're not meant for this world. So we're always going to have a feeling of like restlessness and longing for something that we can never truly fulfill on earth. And that's just something that we kind of have to like grapple with in all stages of life.
And that's a good point. I feel like people like, if you put that on the person that you're with, you're going to screw up the relationship because you're putting, if you want this person
too
to
much pressure.
meet all of your needs all the time, that's just going to push them away.
You need a community.
Because no one can do that, no matter how healthy and perfect they
very
are.
good point.
No one can do that. So, yeah.
Next question.
Oh, I was like waiting for the question.
Okay.
I am.
You are the question.
Okay. This is the kind of more for, I guess, each other. Okay. What was your first impression of each other's current boyfriend/husband?
Okay. I racked my brain and I am having such a hard time remembering what
Okay,
on
I
earth.
can remember.
I remember. Oh my gosh.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go
Go
first.
down the
Okay.
line,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Don't remember. I don't know what movie that's from. Oh, Eat, Pray, Love. I don't remember. It
'Cause it was
so
This
long ago.
was such a long time
I think I was
ago.
just like,
You were
it's
like
blurry.
16.
I don't know him.
I literally.
I remember him coming over
like
to take you to the movies
random guy I
early
don't
on,
know.
and I was just like, who? Kath, don't remember. Lauren, it was more recent, and I feel like I was like, seems nice. My thing with first impressions is I don't value them that much.
Yeah,
I
yes.
just
Forget
want to
them.
get to know people.
Yes.
So it doesn't
That's
really,
the
That's why they don't
problem.
stick very much because I'm like, okay, well, let's see how it goes. That's all. For better, for worse, let's just see
Maybe
how
I
it
can
goes.
think of a word. Okay, maybe I can think of a word.
Mine was blank, 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 blank.
Okay.
Because I give people a clean slate.
Let's see. I first met Chad, I would say the word that I would think of was like eager, kind of. Like,
Yeah.
Like he had a lot of like energy coming out like that. And then Max, it was like the opposite. It was like he doesn't really talk. And then
Okay, that's true. I did notice he was
Very
really,
quiet.
like the quietest person I've ever met, like ever.
I was like, he doesn't really talk. I think that's what
And then
I
what
thought.
about Lawrence?
And then him was the same as Chad, but different. Not the same energy, but it was also eager, but a different kind of eager. I was like, eager. They both have energy that's bubbling over, but different energy that's bubbling over.
Yeah.
Like, woo. Woo. When they meet you, like, hi. Woo.
Okay.
And then Max is like,
It's true.
My first impression of Chad was Christian. Because I think our first conversation, because he was wearing like a plaid shirt. I think you guys had gone to some churchy thing. I don't know, maybe not. And
He always wears
we
plaid
talked about the
shirts.
Bible or something. Our very first conversation, I was like, oh, he's really into his faith. And then also like very like colorful because he has a lot of tattoos. He has like these like
what I'm saying.
collectible
Energy.
things, and he's very like quirky. So like quirky and Christian
so
and
funny.
colorful. Christina's, I remember
you were like 17.
I actually do put a lot into first impressions because I feel like I am better at reading people when I'm unclouded, which is when I first meet them.
Interesting.
So I remember first impressions. I would say Nick was like just this country boy. She's like, oh, he lives out on a farm with his sister, a ranch or something, out in the
It's a
country. And he wears these work boots and he has a truck.
I don't think I
and he
said that
listens
when
to
you met
country.
him.
No, you
I
didn't
didn't
say
know
this. I'm
that.
saying these are the facts of what he was. He picked you up in this giant truck in this country outfit.
I thought he was driving the minivan. Never mind.
Well, I'm saying that's my
Okay,
impression
let's
of
just
him.
get to the
country
first
boy.
yeah, let's just, yeah.
And then my first impression of Lauren's boyfriend was very nice and very I guess eager is a good word too. Like he really wanted to show that he cared, which I appreciate that a lot in a person, and was very helpful and like genuine. He seemed like he really wanted to know everyone in our family, which is a lot of people. So it's pretty overwhelming. Yeah.
Okay, Chad, my first impression seems sad. Oh, yeah. He still brings up, he's like, you thought I was sad. You seem sad.
Everyone gets sad.
That's funny.
Nick, I was
Do you
very
even
young,
remember?
so my impression was like old guy. I don't know. Old person.
He was 19. She's like, old guy. You were 11.
Yes,
and now you're
Or
like,
10.
I know he
Old
seemed
one.
like nice, but like
You're
old
like,
person.
old guy.
I don't know, scared of that. I remember
old
him
guy.
saying something about like my bows, and he wanted to like give me one or
And he
have
never
one.
did.
I don't know.
Oh
Something
my
like that.
yikes, he owes you a bow.
That's
Old
so funny.
unreliable.
Yeah, I brought that up. I was like, you said you were going to get her when you never got her one.
You should get you
I
one.
had no clue
Your
of
birthday's
this.
coming up.
And then Max, I think, was just like quiet. Reminds me of me.
Yeah.
Kind
yeah.
of. I was just like, okay, introvert guy. I get that.
Yeah.
Introvert guy.
I literally, I remember the
remember?
exact, no, I remember
Oh, you
every
do.
single scenario meeting, every single person.
I thought you were saying you don't
Exactly what
remember.
happened.
Such a good memory.
I was recording on the internal mic on the Mac in the office of Already Gone when Nick came over the first time.
I
And I was
remember
like,
this.
oh, he looked exactly like that other guy. And he just seemed like nice and normal. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm 14, whatever. But like, I was like, Steve's cool. I loved the drama because there was just so much going on emotionally. It was a fun time.
LOL.
I feel like Sheena was always giving me such great entertainment because she would always be like, okay, we're stalking their MySpace, or like, we're talking about this thing, we're doing all these. I remember everything.
Wow.
I remember that relationship starting so vividly. So vividly.
So
it's
do I.
so weird.
Wow.
And then, yeah, just like it was like normal, nice kind of person.
Yeah, whatever.
Was he wearing
And
a
then-
green hoodie?
Yes,
Yes.
he was.
I do remember.
Why do I remember
He
that?
was.
He and his sisters all wore these green hoodies.
They all had the same one from like Walmart
It's
in like
from
different
Walmart, I was
colors.
gonna
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
I remember that.
And then,
Like Gildan or something.
Yeah.
I met Chad backstage with Lisa. Was that the first time you ever hung out?
Oh my gosh.
I
you
was
were
there. It was rare. I was there. I
don't even remember
it.
actually.
All too
And it
well.
was fun. And he was just like nice. And I didn't really talk to him
You
that
didn't
much
spend
because
that
I
much
was with
time
my
with him,
friend.
yeah. Yep.
And we were like going to watch because we were at like emo night or something. But I was like,
That's
oh, seems
funny.
cool.
That's so funny.
Nice, whatever. And then I have a vlog from when I met Dylan.
You have a vlog?
A vlog.
Oh, a
We made a
vlog.
vlog.
It was a
Because
trip.
it was just
That's right.
wild.
That's
We
right.
thought it would just be funny either way, regardless of how it went. So I have my whole thoughts, but I was like, wow, seems really nice, really cool, just like fun, chill. We took a picture of them walking from behind them. Why am I always there? It was so fun. And then my impression of Max, because we met him at that
Wasn't
movie.
it at the movies?
Yes.
What?
I was
We
like,
went to see I Can Only Imagine.
yes.
Oh, I
I was
wasn't
like, this is a
That
very
was our third date.
quiet person.
I don't think he said a word.
I don't think he spoke.
He's
really.
like, hi.
But he just seemed nice. And I was like, well, cute, cool.
He memorized our whole family's names on the third
Oh,
date.
that's cute.
And he said them in order. I was like,
I remember the night you first went out with him, too.
When he
that?
saw each of us, he was like, hi.
yes, he probably did that. Christina.
That's cute.
Probably literally did that.
Christina's the old one. Okay.
What's
that's
next?
funny. Okay.
You keep
Wow, I
forgetting
keep
it's
forgetting
you.
to do this. It me. Okay. This is question for the single Pringles, which is Amy. Do you want a partner or are you satisfied with the single life?
Yeah. Like, okay, if God's will is for me to have like a nice man, then yeah, that would be great. But I have a great life regardless. So that's really my vibe.
Okay.
Love it.
So now I'm turning it to the people that are not single for a question.
Okay.
Do you ever miss being single for the alone time?
Yes.
Yes.
No, not being after I got married. After I had a child.
I feel like Nick would say,
yes. Not like I want to go back, but it's one of those things where you look back and you're like, okay, first of all, I did appreciate my alone time. I craved it.
really
So it's
did.
not like I didn't appreciate it, but just like, wow, if I could have one day all to myself again, like, whoa. Because even like if Chad's gone, I still have Lily and I love her. She doesn't really infringe on my time, but I can't really just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even undo that. It's just like something that I look back on that I lost that I'm like,
What a
wow,
time.
what
That's
a time
so
to be alive when I had all my time to myself.
okay, I'm the opposite. No, definitely not. Because Nick is more like Lisa in this way. Actually, I'm going to be talking about this kind of later. But yeah, Nick's more like Lisa. Like I think values alone time maybe more than I do. And I don't know, whatever. So no, Nick gives me plenty of alone time, and
But
we
does
both will like
Barrett?
plan it. Yeah, we'll plan it so that I will get my alone time. He has Barrett. And we plan into
that's
every
good.
weekend alone time, or else we
Max, I
both
should do
are
that.
very cranky if we don't get our alone time in the weekend. So, but I'm more want to be around people more than being alone, I guess. And Nick's not very like in your face, so I don't feel like he's infringing
not
upon
eager?
mine. He's not maybe in some categories. Okay, so now
Yeah, I think the one thing I miss the most is watching rom-coms. Okay, if some people
I
have these
still watch them.
unicorn husbands that love rom-coms, good for you.
Nick
Dylan.
pretends. Okay, it goes.
for you.
Likes. Okay, openly says likes
Openly
them.
promotes them and wants to
Nick
put them
pretends he's like, oh, whatever, and then he keeps watching it, and then he sits down and he's watching the
I
whole
have to
thing.
beg Max to watch a rom-com once a year if I'm like, please, 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 we watch this. He's like, okay,
Cat.
fine.
on. Oh, come on.
You just
He
gotta
hates
have
it.
me over and we'll watch them.
I love just being in my room by myself and watching rom-coms. That was so fun. Or like just girly movies in general.
It's a great time.
Took me a month and a half to finish Redeeming Love because I had to keep watching 20-minute increments by myself.
sucks.
When I had time. Yeah, I feel like I was thinking about this a lot, how like every season of life you gain something and you lose something.
True.
And like when I was single, all I wanted was to be married. And I was like, I can't wait to find my person. Why haven't I found them? And then I found them and I'm like, oh, this is a really great season. But then I look back at the single time and I was like, but there were so many good things about that too. You really do lose and gain things
It's
with
a
each
bargain.
season.
It's a pattern.
What's the question?
The question was, do you miss
your alone
time?
Oh, I have plenty of alone time.
I was gonna say,
I
I feel like that applies more to like marriage because then you're like
I feel like it applies
together
to
and-
parenthood.
I feel like the only
Parenthood.
thing that I
Yeah.
missed, which I didn't have that much single time, is the problem.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought was really fun that you don't get is the which you guys, as we went over that dating, what was that, like first date episode that I realized is not relatable to most of you at least, was the excitement of dating, which a lot of people are like, I hate it. The because a lot of you guys were talking about like hating first dates or like hating dating in general. I really liked the excitement
Yeah,
of like meeting
me
new
too.
people. I thought that was really fun.
But I
liked
really
it. I
liked
liked
the
it.
beginning
I
of
would love
dating
to
my
feel
husband.
like
that
that.
was really like nice.
I liked meeting new people. Yeah, that was fun.
It wasn't.
There is like an
awkward
air
or
of
anything.
mystery in
But I
your
realized
life.
a lot of people don't like dating, is what I didn't know.
I
Oh
don't
yeah, 'cause
love
dating
it.
sucks.
I thought it was great and fun.
No,
so
I
that's
did
the only
not
thing I
like
could think
it.
of.
There were certain moments, but most of it, it's like you get 100 awkward moments for like 2 good ones.
I didn't feel like that, but that's the only
I
thing
don't
that
think
I
that
think
was
was that good. I really like being in a partnership, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of funny. How to find the perfect man.
They don't exist, first of all. Don't
True.
make
True.
try not-
Everyone is imperfect.
If you don't
find
think
the
you are the
perfect
perfect partner, do not look for the perfect partner. Like, I feel like you should look for the level of perfection that you see in yourself, honestly. Meaning, if you think that your person should be like 90% good with no flaws, you should probably try to be like 90%
Which ain't
good.
gonna
Otherwise,
So I guess what's one tip each person has for finding a good guy? What's one tip you have?
okay, wait. Can someone else start? I'm trying to think.
Okay, what's
my
one tip I have?
Okay.
Oh, here's something I did, which we've said this before. One tip I have is think about what you actually like need and deserve and want and blah blah blah. Like actually really think about it and like write it down. And it might totally change, but that's a good starting point. As you meet each person, you will shift that a bit, but you should learn from them. Like, no, I don't want this. I do want this. That helps a lot, I think. Otherwise, if you don't know what you're looking for and you're just like, yay, someone likes me, it doesn't matter. I don't have any qualifications, I think that's one tip.
Okay, yes. Know what you're looking for. Huge. And then here's one that really helped me is dare to dream bigger.
Aw,
Dare to dream
that's
bigger.
nice.
Because a lot of times it's like I don't know why, as I do, I couldn't stop dating guys with like literally like drinking problems. And I was like, well, maybe I get someone who is sober now, even though they used to hit like rock bottom all the time. Like I only thought I could hit a certain thing. Like, okay, well maybe I could get a little more than that. And then eventually I was like, okay, let me just wipe the slate clean. If I could have anything in a partner, like what really matters, not like 6 feet tall, whatever. If I could really have what matters, what would I want? And I was shocked, like, oh, I do want like this and that. Someone warm, someone who wants to spend time with me, someone who always wants to be together. Like, I'm so tired of feeling so alone if I'm not actually alone. So anyway, that's my tip is dream bigger and then look for it. It exists.
Oof.
You have to, but if you don't even let yourself want these things, you're not even going to see them in people because you're
Very
not going to believe
true.
they exist.
True.
I have an maybe weird, unexpected tip, which is get out of your routine.
Ooh.
And I read this in a book. I think it was Mars and Venus book, where he had a list of
yes.
there's like 100 places to meet your soulmate.
That was really interesting.
and it's
that's
a really
cute.
interesting concept. And when I think about my husband, it actually applies to him, even though we both have
I
discussed.
think mine applies too.
Okay, yeah. We both have discussed and agreed if we met at a party, we would never approach each other because neither of us would
Hey,
do that.
we've discussed this, but we said we would definitely approach.
I don't think I would have met my husband if I hadn't done online dating. So I'm a big, I know
That's
people, I
so
know it's
funny.
really excruciating at times, but I am a big believer in online dating.
I like it.
But okay, like in the book, he said, like, if you're a morning person, try going out at night. If you're a sports fan, try taking an art class. Like,
If
try,
you're a menace.
which and it's because like truly opposites do attract. That's pretty common. A lot of times people have to be in a relationship with someone who's very similar.
And
That's
get outside of your normal.
but it's good to get outside your comfort zone. And also another thing is like go places where you think quality people would be. So for me, a lot of that was like church stuff or like, volunteering. Like go places where you're like, oh, I think I would meet someone. Or if you're like, I love sports, maybe you should go to something that is like outside of your normal realm.
Even if it's
But
not
yeah.
the opposite of what you like, just do something different.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go outside the norm.
You know what I
'cause
want to do is go rock climbing. At a
Oh,
climbing
yes.
gym.
Yes, Lisa, I want to
That
come.
sound fun?
I'll come with.
yeah.
I want to go.
I would say stop wasting time on people that are clearly not it. Like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
clear,
Yikes.
obvious, like this is not it, but you're wrapped up in these people.
desperate.
You're not gonna find someone new if you're still obsessing over this person that's like ruining your life. Like you gotta get serious and just stop doing that.
Yeah, I think that my tip is if you want to talk to someone or like think someone's attractive or whatever, just ask them to hang out.
Just go for
Okay,
it.
put yourself out
Because
there.
then you'll get them off the list way sooner. That's my
That's
problem.
true. Hang out.
People can stay on the list for years.
Get him off.
You need to get them out.
Yeah. Clean the closet.
Love it.
Okay. This is an interesting one. What are your dating rules?
Rules.
So should we each just
does that
say?
mean?
It's like, okay, I'll tell you a
Okay, yeah, you start.
Should we
I
each
feel
say
like
a
I've
rule?
said these before in a very far past
Never
episode.
trust a man in a straw hat.
That comes to mind. Never trust a man in a straw hat. I agree
my
with that one. I would say a rule for me for dating was
Just say one rule.
if it starts out weird, it's going to be weird.
Oh, that's so true.
that
I
is
took that
so
on.
Yeah,
and it
if
was
they're
true.
shady in the beginning with their communication or they're kind of flaky, don't expect
They
them to
won't
change
get
because they will
better.
continue
It's
that
not
pattern.
gonna get better.
Here's one
that's
for
my
me
tip.
that I very much was successful with. Be clear with myself first of what I absolutely do not want to do and then stay miles away from that. Like, I'm not going to go home with anyone. I didn't want to do that. So it was like nowhere near getting into the wee hours. Well, it was into the wee hours, but it was like, oh, let's go to your house. You know, it's like stay in the public places, you know, know where you're going and then go there, if that makes sense. And
That
like,
makes sense.
don't be like, well, maybe a little, don't go like halfway in and out unless like, that makes sense. Be clear in what you want. Stick with it.
Okay, I thought of one that I had, like a policy. Was
Bless your heart.
okay. A policy I had was
Bless your
I
heart.
always put like the really important values to me out there right away on the first date. I learned really quickly that if I didn't put out on the first date,
I'm scared of doing
and I
that.
put them out there,
Maybe
then
that's my problem.
sometimes they were like, "What?" I'm shocked on like
Yeah.
the later dates. So I was like, I don't
so
want that
true.
moment.
I think I
want to
took
tell
that
them
up from you.
right
Yeah,
away.
same.
This is who I am. This is what I believe in. It doesn't
Oh,
mean to tell them
yeah.
all your childhood trauma, but I'd be like, this is what I believe in.
Well, you
This
could
is
even
who I
say
am.
like your physical boundaries. This is what
Yeah,
I'm.
that's
This is what I'm willing to
exactly-
do. This is what I'm not willing to do.
I would say that. I would lay it all out there. This is exactly who I am, and I would put it out there strongly right
Yeah,
away.
I was too scared of rejection to not do that. Because I was like, what if I really fall for this person and then they don't want to be with me because of X, Y, Z? Yeah. And so I was like, I can't do that. So I would
that
do
was one of mine. I think a lot of people are scared to do
I would try
that.
to say it within the first 2 to 3 dates.
But if that's who you are, like, don't you want to know who they are? I want to know.
That's
or
a
what
good
if they're
one.
like, that's deal breaker? It's like, okay, let's not waste each
Yeah.
other's time.
I don't really know. I guess a rule I had was like, first dates should always be like coffee or lunch or something like daytime, quick, so you could get out of. I don't want to do some big dinner date on a first date. No. I want to be able to leave.
Oh,
Yeah, I
my
agree.
God.
Do something casual. Dinner is way too serious. I made that
Okay,
mistake.
I did a first date as a dinner date, but I had already hung out with him at a party.
Okay,
So,
that's
like,
different.
I
I've
don't mind at all doing a dinner date for first date.
You're
I like
wild.
walks.
I like
In a
long
public-
walks
that's
on
I guess
the
well,
city.
Christina, I'm
Because
thinking.
I always
well, wait.
knew.
I'm thinking
kind
like
of the person.
online dating.
Yes,
for
I
that.
see what you're saying. I never
I
did
would go on a
that.
walk in a very public place.
Okay, that makes
Love
sense
it.
because you don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
have that.
yeah.
I
And-
already knew the guy I was going to go on a
Yes,
date with.
and when you're walking, you loosen up, and you're not
Oh, yeah,
staring
I
face
like
to face
that.
to each
That's
other.
a great idea.
That's true.
But
Walks are
maybe you
good.
want that eye contact. I don't know.
Amy, what's a rule that you have now?
Well,
Well,
let's see. One that I have established more is no toleration of grid bungee jumping.
What
I
does
can't
this
have
mean?
it, will not have it.
What does that mean?
Men who bungee jump on and off the
toleration.
grid.
Isn't it
Oh,
tolerance?
if a guy
Who
just
cares?
stops,
No, I made it up.
if
in
he
the moment.
stops contacting you and then shows up again, pretends like nothing happened.
Yes, and then
expects
or
you to be
shows up
okay
again
with
saying,
it.
"I'm so sorry, I suck."
either way.
Really
Then you're
no.
like, oh, that's great. Sorry, bye.
I'm just like, no. There's just none of
And
that.
he's like, oh, she'll definitely
We just
keep
because
talking
I
to me. She
tolerated
doesn't
too
care.
much of that in my life, and I just the
So you're like,
last.
I don't.
You need consistency.
I need
You're looking for
consistency.
emotionally available and
Yes.
eager
Yes.
to hang out.
Yes,
Someone who's like,
Consistent.
yes,
because
this is where I want to
I
be.
after
Let's talk.
I got out of my last thing, it's like I did not realize how completely stressful that was all the time. I was always
Yeah,
on edge
so
all the time
stressful.
for like months.
Yeah.
I can't live like
That's
that.
So stressful.
That makes me think of one other one that I thought of that I want to say, which was I kind of developed this at the end of dating, similar to what you're saying, which is go where you're wanted.
Oh, good one.
And I remember
love
somewhere
that.
in a book, it was like, if a person likes you, they'll make it really obvious. You
Yep.
shouldn't have to try to interpret it. They will like go over
No.
hot coals and like swim
person-
through. Oh, they'll swim through a lake to give you a glass of lemonade or something. Which is like, obviously that's a dramatic, but you know what I'm saying? It's like
How would
they
you
did
even?
something to show you. So yeah, go where you're wanted.
A person who's worth dating will make it very clear that they like you. Because some people like you, but they won't make it
yeah.
clear, and they're not worth dating.
Yes.
Boom. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
You
go
need
where
to be
people
able
are
to
showing
communicate.
All right, next cue.
you. Okay, this Christina wanted me to pick this one. This is a very shady question.
What?
I feel like you all follow the rule. I'm reading this in a sassy voice because it sounds sassy to me.
scared.
I feel like you all follow the rule of getting married before 30. No biggest dreams.
Okay, I wanted her to pick this one because it's
No, well, I don't know what that
totally
even means.
doesn't make sense. I pushed off, like, I literally dated Nick for what was it, 8 or 9
9
years?
years.
Because I kept being like, oh, I really want to focus on my career. The opposite of what you're saying. I wasn't like, oh, I I gotta get married now that I'm almost 30. That wasn't what I was thinking. It just happened. I think that just happens more. So
Yeah.
no, I didn't have a rule saying I need to get married before I'm 30. I don't think anyone did.
I mean, our
crap.
our parents
like I do.
openly discouraged us from dating.
Yeah.
No, seriously, they did.
They never said. They never.
Our
were
parents
like,
said, just
No.
don't
So
date
when
till
you're
you're
getting
25
married-
because then your
Yeah.
brain will be fully developed.
I feel like we accomplished so much before I even turned 20.
Yeah.
I felt like, okay,
No biggest dreams?
I've traveled a lot. We've won a Teen
Seen the
Choice
world.
Award. We have 1 billion views on YouTube. Like
We've
I
had
don't-
a record
I wasn't
deal.
like, oh, I
we
love
moved to
these
different
things.
cities.
Also, for some people, getting married is a dream. Not for everyone, but it is a dream.
The downplaying of like marriage and family and everything is kind of
Yeah.
annoying because
that is my biggest
kids
dream.
is a
what's your
dream.
problem, person? Like, listen, like
also-
career stuff is great, but like my marriage is really, really, really
Well, and why
great.
can't you have dreams and be married too?
Yeah, why
Well,
can't you
why
do
does
that?
your life
I was gonna
stop?
say, everyone. This is only about me. It has nothing to do with anyone. I like the idea. I mean, honestly, well, no, it's great timing that I have, but I like the idea of having kids young, before I am decrepit, and then when I'm older, like they will be out of the house. Because you know what? You can travel when you're 55. I hate to break it to you. I'm really excited for the golden years of retirement. I have plans on plans on plans.
Like
and
the
they go
second
for
honeymoon
right now, they go
phase
for a
is what
little
they
later.
call it.
Yeah, like I'm excited for all of that. So my dreams extend. I believe you live past the age 30.
Why do
And
your dreams
you can-
die when you
You
get
can make
married?
money at any time. You can change
Have
your
a job
career
at
at any
any
time.
time.
I really do believe that. And I think my body won't be young forever, but my mind will.
I love
So
it.
yeah, I want to like use my physical youth while I can to make children and run around after them. And then and if you're not, or you wait until you're older,
Guess what? You can
That's
do
your
whatever you
choice.
want.
that's your
Yeah.
thing. There's nothing wrong with it. This is just
Yeah.
mine. And then later I have other things I want to do. So I just have different dreams for different times.
And I think some people naturally are more career focused and some people are naturally more relational.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I do think that all people were created to be in relationship. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be married. You could have great friends and family members. But I don't know. I remember reading this article where this nurse said she talked to a lot of patients right before they died. And the number one thing that was their biggest regret was, I wish I worked less and spent more time with my family.
Wow.
And so I'm just saying, apparently these are probably very career-oriented people. So there's nothing wrong with career dreams. I have them myself, and I think it's great having your own goals and stuff. But I personally think for me, investing in your family and your relationships is like your lifelong legacy. And to me, that's the most important thing.
And can I say one more thing? In a book, in a very great, very famous book, I'm not going to say a book, I'm just going to say that because I just don't want to get into it, that talks about a lot of the most successful, I guess it's been talking about men, it's from before back in the day.
Before women existed.
Of all time.
Or when we're in the
He
workforce.
talks about how marriage and their wife was a huge. He talks about the wives behind these men and how their partnership with their wife and the way that they would talk to her about everything, get ideas from her, work through things with her, whatever, was a huge part of their success. So they're not like separate things.
Yeah.
Marriage and success.
Yeah, that's true. They can also be really integrated.
It's true.
I think
Yeah.
you
You
Support
actually,
each other
I
in
think
your dreams.
have
I think
to
they
be, I think.
oftentimes are more than
Yeah.
they aren't, actually.
Yeah. And if you're not married or you don't really want to get married, you could always have like
There's
a best
nothing
friend
wrong
or a
with that.
partner, like someone like your business partner, like someone that cheers you on. I think you need that other person
Anyway,
to
I just
be
wanted
with
to say
you.
that. Let's move on.
Unity
I know
in
nobody
life.
cares. I just want to say that because I thought that was a rude question.
I feel like they
is
didn't
to be
necessarily
happy
mean that in a rude
and
way.
enjoy.
Okay, maybe you didn't mean it in a
Yeah.
rude way. But I'm
don't
like,
think
what do
I
you
did.
mean biggest dreams? I feel like
mean-
we've done so much stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we had several years we were traveling all the time and we did a lot of different festivals and went to different countries and I'm like,
We played
I feel like I
Bonnaroo.
traveled a lot and I'm gonna do like a later on, later in life, like Lisa was saying, second round of travel and just like experiencing the world. So I don't know, I'm looking forward to that.
I think you can be unhappy at any phase of life.
I agree.
Okay, next.
True. Okay. So this is a
Let's do
two-part
like
one.
2 more questions.
Okay,
Keep the best
this
last
is
two.
2 good questions in one. So for dating, let's do the first one. This is from Logan on Patreon. For dating, what was your first relationship like? Any nerves, anxiety? And then she has another one, which I think is
Wait.
also good.
How do
What
we
was
answer
just
that?
say? What was your first relationship?
Down the line.
My husband was my first official boyfriend who asked if he could be my boyfriend. But there was this weird teenage thing that I had that was never official, but it felt so real. I don't know. And that was very long distance for the most part. And there was a lot of wistful longing. And I don't know if there... Oh, yeah, I used to get so oh my gosh, yes. Lots of nerves. I used to get super nervous. But it was really fun and sweet for the most part.
Cute.
Okay, mine was a learning experience. I did learn a lot. It was a mixture of nice and disrespectful idiot, I would say. He deserves every word that is negative. Anyway, that's all I'll say.
I feel
He
like
does. He was very
thinking back, I'm like, did I
You don't
bring home the most
disrespect a
like
young
nice
woman.
boys? Do you think that?
I don't remember
Did
you
I
bringing
bring home
anyone
the
home.
Well, think of a few
Yeah.
guys I brought home. They were
Yeah.
very like nice boys.
You
I thought they were
Nice guys.
cold.
They were
No, they
not
were
like
cold. No,
but not
disrespectful
like-
though.
But they were
Not
not
like-
like what you said.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they wouldn't be
They're never a
disrespectful.
bad
They'd
boy.
be cold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some were kind of psycho, but I didn't bring them home. Okay. I would say like Lisa, I would say my husband was really the only person that I was like, he was like, will you be my girlfriend? Like, then I want to
Straightforward.
marry you, blah, blah. But I dated a lot of guys before him. I had a lot of things. Well, I hate that term. I don't know what you guys say now in the
Short-lived.
new gen, but
What
in the
do they
old gen,
say?
in the old gen, we would say we were having a
old
thing,
gen.
which
Yeah,
just
I
meant
wonder
you're like
what they
vaguely
say.
talking.
I'll never forget Lisa's
And
being
you
like,
like each other, and
what
you
is
kind
a
of hang
thing?
out.
A thing is something that grows on the side of your foot.
I don't even remember why I
but
said
I will
that.
say, I would consider my first relationship, even though there were other guys I dated and talked to and whatnot. I don't know. It's very unclear which one was the first. But there was a guy that I dated for 9 months, and I never made it official because I was scared. But he really wanted to make it official, and we were like consistently dating and talking for 9 months.
That's a long
How
time.
would you describe it?
I would say he was very nice. He was a good boy, met at church. I would say I was just listening to other people more than my own instincts because everyone around me, like my friends were like, he's so nice. He's such a great guy. You guys are so cute together. You should be with him. You should marry him, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I feel very angry around him. Like I feel enraged. And the reason was because he was repressing a lot of his rage and anger.
So
and I was feeling it.
interesting.
I saw this thing once that said like, if one person pushes down their emotions when they're in a close relationship, sometimes the other person will start expressing
It's
them.
such
It's like
a thing.
you push it down, it's like a whack-a-mole.
It's
that's
such a
And
thing.
I was like, why am I eating yogurt? And I could just crush it in my hand. Like,
and he's sitting there like, and he was too blessed to be
Kevin's
stressed.
first relationship was very angry.
so I would say that was really the synopsis was I should have listened to my own instincts.
You
He was
learned that
He was a great
from
guy, yeah. And we also did not morally align, which I realized later, even though we went at church. But it was like I had talked to him about some really serious things that were important to me. And I was like, so what do you think about this? We had some deep conversations and he was just like, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, that's, live your truth. It's not my truth. So yeah.
Okay, you?
I'd say my first relationship was conceal, don't feel.
What?
We were like 17. Like, I don't know how to say anything.
Conceal,
So we were
don't
just like, ha ha ha. Like, we never said, like, I love you or anything. We're just like, hanging out. Everything's good. But then secretly, I was kind of mad like you. And then one day, I just broke up with him. He's like, what the heck? Never saw this coming. Because we were just like,
said.
everything good.
Did you write him a letter?
No.
I wrote him a letter. I was a classic letter
You know what
writer.
I did? I wrote a bullet pointed list of everything wrong with him. And I was like, you do this, you do that, you do that. Because I didn't say anything the whole relationship. So, not
Say
great.
anything. Hey, you
Nice.
probably realized what you wanted from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. I have never had like an official real relationship for honestly many, many, many deeper psychological reasons. But my first like real-ish, that's what I'm saying ish, because like it was like a literal just like it was not in either of our real lives, if that makes sense. Like we dated ish for like a few months ish, but it was like we would only hang out like alone. We never met each other's friends. We never like did anything in the real world. So it was
Like
just
your
like a
own bubble.
giant fantasy.
it's like a thing, but that's
Yeah, we mainly hung out on like on a parking garage roof. So it was just like It was very
Yeah.
chill and like fun, but it was also like, what even is this? And this is not real in any way, shape, or form. But I didn't even know that it wasn't real in any way, shape, or form until years later in much psychological evaluation of it and myself. So it was very just like, yeah.
I was gonna do that one, but now
One more?
Now I'm realizing that's one for only the married.
Or we could do
people.
two more. We could do two more. Depending on how
Okay,
long
so
they
her
are.
marriage one was for marriage. When did you know they were the one? I can start with that one because I think I know the answer to that pretty quick. I knew that my husband was the one because from the very first,
Just thinking.
like this. She's like in her head, she's the Grinch. But what would I
I'm going
wear?
through a bunch of things in my head.
So I thought about this a lot. I think I've journaled about this too, that's why I know the answer so quickly. But I, from the very first date that I went on him, I had a thought of, why are you laughing?
heard
Are you
your
thinking of your
snort.
own
Date I
story?
went on him. Nothing you peed on him or something.
Ew. Gross. Or worse. From the very first date that I went on with him,
There you go.
I had this thought that just
my
popped into my head. And it was like, is this the feeling of someone I could actually marry? And I was like, no.
The
no, stop it.
intuition.
And I was like, you don't even know him. But
like, totally.
I had this feeling of calm. It was like peace.
love
And every
peace.
other relationship, I had a lot of anxiety the whole time. Literally could not eat. I think I wolfed out a whole sandwich and chips that first date because I was like really comfortable and I just felt like I could be myself. And I felt really safe. That was definitely how I knew. I never really felt that safe with guys, like emotionally. Not like they were gonna like kidnap me, but like emotionally safe.
Yeah.
And with him, I felt like I could just be myself and I didn't have to like impress him. I could just show my whole self and he wasn't like, it wasn't not good enough or something. It was like more than good enough from the beginning.
I would say I had a feeling. Okay, wait. At
Yeah,
first,
what you're gonna say.
Here's my quick summary. He was older than me and in a band. My two biggest deal breakers. So I was like, absolutely never. And that's like, well, maybe this will just be like my last go out with a bang before I find the one. So I thought it was going to be like, little thing and then over. And then, so I kept just being like, absolutely not. And then I think it was like a month and a half. No, about 3 months of talking here and there where I was like, what's happening? Because it just immediately it was like so opposite of what I thought it was going to be because usually that would be like my worst experience. And then it was so good. And I was like, what? I felt so comfortable. And like so many of our values were aligning. I was like, wait, what? Thought you'd be like an overgrown child with no responsibility. And then I remember where I was like freaking out, like, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then I was like, wait, I had a list of everything I was looking for, like before I met him, and I was like, well, it's like this and this and this and this. Like, whoa, check, what? Check, what?
check one.
Yeah, so it was like a weird, wait, what? What if? Like, you didn't realize you were looking at it all along.
Interesting.
So it was basically the time that we became official where I realized he was the one. So I let him become official. Like I said, I love you before we became official because I was like, yeah, this is it. He's like, I love you too.
Love that.
Okay, the reason I made that face, whatever,
what
was because I was thinking
Through 12,000
I
years
had
of history.
such a tendency to easily be able to be like, oh, I could marry this guy. I could easily think that. So it was hard for me to tell if when I thought that about Nick, it was real or not. But I think this makes sense. So a few months in, so I was 19, a few months in, I was like, yeah, I think we're going to get married. But then I'm like, was I just doing the thing that I always do? So then I would say over the next like year or two, it was just very much affirmed to me as I met more guys, moved to LA, met a lot more guys, and I was just like, yeah, this ain't it. Every time I met a new guy, I was like, it's just such a different connection than what I have with Nick. It was just so obvious that it was so different with him that I was like, okay, nothing is even like slightly comparing to this is definitely it. So I guess early, and then it was affirmed to me over the next few years, like, this is so different.
Over the next decade.
Over the next decade.
Well, then I was aware, and then we just kept moving.
When you were 19, did you think you get married 10 years later?
No, I thought I was going to get married at 25.
Wait, you were 29?
Oh, interesting.
28.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
You're
how
right
old did you
there.
guys think you'd get married at? I thought 26.
25.
Never. No age. Never.
Oh, I did not know that.
When I hit 25, I was
I
like,
had
whoa,
a-
whoa, this ain't it.
I had a vague
Not
vision
it.
of me being miserable with a man in my home, but I didn't really think.
You didn't have an age
I
point
was like,
on
I'm
it.
gonna be miserable and I'm also gonna die alone. I don't know how these line up, but
What?
That is very loud.
there was no dress.
next-
there was
last
no date.
Oh wait, they didn't answer. Oh wait,
Um,
wait,
do
how
I
did you know
look
we were
like
the
I'm
one?
married?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Last question.
Sorry, I got that wrong. Okay. Last
Many
question.
reasons.
Sorry, I'm the worst.
So something we can all answer.
How did I know there were? Let's see. Let me
Okay,
count the ways.
this is a good one. Anthony always with the deep questions. Love it. He has great questions.
He does.
What is something you personally have to actively be conscious of and work on when it comes to relationships?
Oh,
It's a
my
great
gosh.
one.
What I
Gosh,
said
I am so aware of
earlier.
this.
What I said earlier. I have to say what I'm feeling.
You right. You
So
right. You
hard.
right.
And I would select that as Nyx, even though we're not answering for our partner. I would select that as Nyx.
Wow.
What I need to work on, that I'm trying to work on, is that I have way too high of expectations for relationships. Because
You're just a new girl. She's like, happy birthday. She gives her sweater. Made in China? Are we going on a trip to China?
No. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I feel like in not just in romantic, but also friendships, I think I put a lot into it and I expect to get that level out of it. And that's not good.
that's
I'm
difficult.
realizing my therapist is helping me with this, that I need to just not expect, and it's like a childhood wound. She explained that to me. I need to not expect people to be this high level. I need to just like not do that because that's just not healthy. And it's just too much to put on people to like fill that void.
I get that.
Just because you're putting so much of yourself in doesn't mean that another person is going to do the same. And to expect that is not healthy. Like it's obviously they shouldn't just be a deadbeat. And if they are, you shouldn't necessarily be with them. But it's just too much. So I think I just expect too much and I need to like be more realistic with my expectations.
Okay, see, that is a part of mine, but I'm thinking of an even bigger picture of it. But that's a huge part of mine, the exact same thing, where it's like you'll give too much and then you'll expect all of that back.
Yeah.
When that person didn't necessarily ask you to give all of that, then you're
Yeah.
resentful,
They
then
didn't
you're
ask
really
you to give them
mad.
their left toe.
So
Your
I
left
have
toe.
that exact same thing, and it's part of like a larger cycle of that's hard to explain. So I guess it's something about trying to find the like trying to create a healthy environment and not get stuck in a resentful or I don't know how to explain
Resentment tornado.
it. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So something like that.
That's a really good. That's what happens.
I feel like I should journal about that. I literally think about this all the time, but I never like journal it out and try to write out what I'm thinking. So I feel like
Yeah.
I should do that.
I think it's a control thing too.
Okay, I don't know exactly how to say this, but I guess it's like I have to not overprotect myself so much and actually give him the chance to
Yes.
do something good. Like give him the chance to be trustworthy instead of me always like self-protecting by like not
Yes.
speaking up or like, oh, it's fine, or like
Yes.
pulling back.
Gotta open
Actually
up.
like opening up and giving
Ooh, that is real.
that I always struggle with. I'm
That's
just like,
hard.
oh no, I just don't need to say, or I just don't do that. It's like, no, let him show you that he loves you. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think the biggest thing that I learned from the last thing that I got out of is I need to not be afraid of asking the harder questions and like putting stuff out there in that way, if that makes sense. Because she's like, I'm just ABCDE on the first date. And I'm like, bro, I never even get to that questions. I don't know. I would say more of that and like actually like saying that I'm mad instead of saying no worries.
No worries.
There were worries.
Many worries.
Many words.
You should never say
He was
no worries
preemptively
ever.
apologizing though. So what are you supposed to say to a preemptive apology?
I don't know what that
I just
means.
say, yeah. They're like, I'm really sorry, Bob. I'm like, yeah.
I'd be like, oh, no worries, it's fine.
Like,
No.
if it's not okay, I'm not gonna say it's okay. I'm say, yeah.
I would say no worries. No worries in a scathing way in past relationships. Like no, worries.
And then I wasn't being emotionally honest because I was upset.
Burn in a pit. Just kidding.
Okay.
All right, too far.
Let's end the Q&A there.
Stop there before we go any
We got to a
further.
very weird road.
Oh my gosh, it's so
Okay,
hard.
let's go to
I am
sister.
running in a daze.
Let's go to Sister Spotlight before we all.
there, ladies.
Before we all melt.
We're almost there.
Okay, go.
So, Sister Spotlight, where a different sister gets a spotlight on her each week. We have Get Real with Christina, Sappy Your Sass Thoughts with Cap, Lisa's Corner,
I'm delirious.
Amy's Current Crisis, Lauren's Take,
I'm opting out out of the spotlight thing. I'm over
and the
it.
sister this
like
week
it.
is
Good, do
me. Okay, so this goes with our topic.
She's ready to rock and roll.
This is my Get Real with Christina, and I've already said this before in like a video or something on Patreon. Maybe I did it as Get Real before. I don't know.
Guys, get it together. Get
I'm
it.
sorry.
Get it together.
I'm trying to feel the cold of my ice cube. I'm so hot.
Anyway, I will do my segment now.
I'm just pulling.
Oh my gosh.
My neck. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, guys, the faster I finish, the faster we get
together.
into your
All
seat.
right.
Let's hear it.
Everyone,
Let me
one,
just
two,
finish.
three,
Here we
go.
go. So, for Get Real with Christina, my topic is, my statement is, you don't need to. Okay, well, I'll just say you need to.
You should.
I highly suggest learning
I invite you to.
your attachment style and wounds. And when I say I highly suggest, I'm saying this because my attachment style and wounds that I've come to know have affected my marriage more than anything else and affected my parenting more than anything else. Like literally, learning those things has changed my entire life drastically. And I am someone who has devoured so many like psychological books and theories and blah, blah, blah on relationships. I deeply cared to try to learn something about marriage for years and years and years and years and years and read so much stuff and talked and blah, blah, blah and tried to learn stuff. Then when I discovered attachment styles, attachment theory, that was the biggest game changer of all. It read me like a book. I couldn't believe it. It's not the same thing as like learning your love language. That's like one thing, okay? This is like the deepest level that you can go to of all. And everything I believe is built on this foundation. And what we were talking about today, a lot of stuff we were talking about was very like, you could easily be like, oh, she's very dismissive based on what she just said. Dismissive avoidant, one of the attachment styles. You would notice a lot of attachment theory in what we're talking about. And you'd easily just notice it in everything. Books, movies, everyone you interact with, everything. It's just everywhere. So what is attachment theory? Basically, it's the theory that how you, as a young child, some say it's 4-2, some say it's 4-3, which is crazy because Barrett's almost 2. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we're almost solidified there.
The gap is closing.
How they develop their attachment to their primary caregivers affects the way they see relationships and really the world forever unless they can get some great therapy and heal those wounds if their wounds are created, which most likely yes. So it's saying like the way that you connected with your mom, for instance, is going to completely affect all of your dating relationships, friendships, your relationships with your coworkers, your boss, blah, 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 everything. Every interaction, every human interaction that you have.
Also
and your view on the world. And how
No
you
pressure.
parent.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Never mind.
Well, so then if that's true, which I have found it to be very true seeming, learn everything about it. I told Nick everything I learned. I told him, and he really took it in. Like if I tell Nick something and he's like, it doesn't make sense. He'll say that. He's not gonna be like, well, let me follow everything you say blindly, which is one reason I liked him because he really will push back and like question things. And he was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. And he's taken it all in and he's really applied it with parenting, which I think has worked really well so far. I'm like looking for a secure attachment with Barrett. I'm like, does he have a secure attachment with me? Does he have a secure attachment with Nick? Like that's what I look for. And then when I'm interacting with Nick, I'm like, am I interacting from these wounds? Is he interacting from these wounds? And we can look down to the wounds. And that's the biggest thing that it affects, I would say, is like arguments and conflicts are so much easier now because I can just break them down to be like, oh, he's being triggered in this way. I'm being triggered in this way. When these things used to like completely stump me before, like, why does this keep happening? Why do I feel this? Why am I like this? I didn't even know things were triggering me. And then I learned about the wounds and attachment styles in general. And I just can't, I don't think I can overstate this. I'm telling you, I have just read so many of like the top books all about this, that, and the other thing, whatever, and nothing touches this. And then you can read a lot about it. There's some interesting videos, like older ones on YouTube showing like kids, like showing attachment theory in action, wild. Like how they react to their parent leaving. But basically, I'll say one last thing saying about the 4 things, maybe to try to get you interested, and then that's all I'm going to say today. So it's all about how this is in the like how it can like be shown, how a kid interacts with you and like reacts to you like leaving and coming back. Basically, is a great way to put it. So you leave, your kid doesn't give a rip. You come back, your kid doesn't give a rip. This would suggest a dismissive, avoidant child whose parent doesn't attune to them, doesn't notice their needs, tells them, oh, you're fine when they're not fine, doesn't notice they're hungry or they're whatever it is. Like they don't notice it. They can't like tune into them. So the kid feels very out of tune with the parent. Maybe they're nice. All these parents, maybe they're nice, maybe they're caring, maybe they care a lot, but they're just not noticing what the kid's really getting at. And the kid just like, oh, I don't really have needs. I don't really need anything from you because you don't do anything for me. Dismissive, avoidant, private, I'll take care of it myself, overly independent, blah, blah, blah. Next, anxious. There's different, preoccupied, anxious, there's different names for these 2. Next one is that one. There's only 4, so I'm almost there, okay? So second one, the parent leaves. The kid cannot be calmed down. They're hysterical and they won't calm down really. And then the parent comes back, the kid attaches to them and clings on for dear life and doesn't want to go back to like playing. They just want to stay with them because they don't know when they're going to leave next. This often when a parent is like there for them and meets their needs some of the time, and then they're just gone and meets like none of them another time. Maybe they're totally checked out mentally or they're physically gone for a long time. Like if they're like gone for a really long time at work and then they only see them a very small amount of time, some people say that could cause that and then solidify that kind of attachment style. So this kid will feel very anxious and it doesn't mean this isn't everyone has anxiety, by the way. Dismissive avoidance can have anxiety, but it's just called anxious, preoccupied, whatever. So this kid doesn't know when people are going to leave them. So they'll be the ones often like reaching out extra, clinging on, being like, I don't know when someone's going to leave me. I don't know what I can trust. It's the opposite of dismissive. Dismissive is the complete opposite. They're like, I'll do everything for myself. I don't give a rip. I don't need anyone. I don't want to get attached to anyone. I'd rather be attached to video games, TV show, whatever, something that's not a person. But anxious is like, I need to be attached to someone or else I feel like I'm alone and I'm dead, basically. Okay, so then there is fearful avoidant, or there's another, what's the other word for it? Disorganized. And that is a mixture of the 2. It's like going back and forth. There's like the element of fear introduced, I believe, in this scenario. So for that one, for the leaving thing, I think it's a mixture of things. Parent leaves and then the kid could freak out. I don't know if they possibly could not freak out because they can go back and forth. But then when the parent comes back, the kid could like punish the parent with like the silent treatment, or they could like lash out at them, or maybe they would cling back onto them. There can be a different amount of things. It's actually a combination of the 2 I just mentioned, anxious and avoidant. They will go between the 2 kind of. So sometimes they'll just shut down and just go silent treatment, blah, blah. Other times, they're like, wait, come back, reaching out. And it's a confusing mix of the 2. They don't like live in one, they go back and forth. And that comes from a parent who is inconsistent. And oftentimes there is like the fear element. Maybe like they yell a lot, or maybe worse, maybe there's abuse in the household. It could be a wide range, doesn't have to be abuse, but something that like really scares the kid. There's this fear element. And that kid doesn't really know what to expect. And they also have like this anger and this fear and this whole thing going on, whatever. So they go between the 2. And the last one is secure. So secure attachment, what you hope for. When a parent leaves, the kid normally will be sad. My parent just left. But they'll be able to be like, to adjust to if they're in safe surroundings, obviously. This doesn't count if they're in like some place. I'm talking about like they're with like someone they trust and the parent leaves. Not like someone they are like, who the heck are you? So they're like, oh, I'm sad my mom left. And then they're like, comfort. And they're like, okay, I'm comforted. Now I'm going to play. Then the parent comes back and the kid's happy to see the parent and reconnects with them. oh, yay, my mom's back, reconnect. And then we'll go about exploring their environment. And this comes, they say, from when you attune to your child's needs from that young age. You're like, oh, you're crying. You need something. Are you hungry? Do you need a diaper change? What do you need? And when they validate their feelings and point out their feelings. So like, we don't really know when we're kids yet. So it's like, we don't exactly know what's going on. So it's like, if we're sad, like Barrett learned sad recently. When he sees someone crying, he like looks at them really confused and he goes like, sad. But he just knows like crying. He doesn't quite know. So, you know, if for instance, Barrett is like, if Nick and I are like having this huge fight and this never happens. We're like yell at each other, whatever. Say we're really mad at each other. And then Barrett's like, what's wrong, Mom? And I'm like, nothing. I'm happy. Then he's going to be like, okay, I thought I felt this like something coming from her, anger, but she's telling me she's happy and she's smiling, but the smile doesn't feel real. But I don't know. She's the adult. She's the authority. Okay. Okay, so nothing is wrong. Okay, I can't trust myself. I have to trust like authority figures. I have to trust whatever it is. A kid will learn to not trust themselves in that instance, for example. So my point is all these things have like a really big effect. And you know, that mom who said that, she had a good intention. She's like, I don't want to scare my kid.
Yeah.
But there are other ways you can deal with that than that. That could possibly help your kid like learn more about like their own feelings and the world around them and who they can trust and what to do and blah, 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 blah. So I say, learn about that. Hopefully that got you somewhat interested. That's literally the foundation of like everything I do now because it's been the most life-changing thing. Learning that has drastically changed my mental health, my marriage, and just completely influenced my parenting style. And I think that it's going, what do I know? But I think it's going really well. I don't know. We'll have to see when Barrett gets a little older. But so far when I'm like noticing his behaviors and I'm looking at like, is he secure? Things are looking pretty positive, but what do I know? We don't know. We'll see.
Time will tell.
Well, time will have to tell. So yeah, there's my cell. Learn about it. See if it changed your life. Just search on YouTube. There's tons of videos. And I think if you learn, you're going to be mind blown. You'll be like, whoa, this completely describes me perfectly. This completely describes that guy I was obsessed with. This completely describes blah, blah, blah. My sister, my brother, my friend, my dad, whatever. It's life-changing. Better than I think anything else you could look up to help you with any type of relationship that exists. There, the end. All right, guys, we're all dying of heat in here. I hope I convinced you.
Well,
See you later. Have fun with life.
You've been listening to the Cimarelli podcast. Follow Cimarelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimarelli on Facebook and Instagram.